Perfect. Now I'll go back to my broadcast here. Okay, so Angela, can you let me know if I'm going live on Facebook as well? Well, I'm so excited. So who else do we have here? Maybe I should type in the chat box. Who else is on? Okay. Okay, so we just have a couple more minutes before we start officially. Hi, Samantha. So where are you from and how did you hear about this? All right, so Angela says she sees me live on Facebook as well. Perfect. Angela, I know you can hear me, so I'm not going to type on my phone. She's an amazing assistant. I have to tell you that. I love her. Oh, from Wetaskiwin, but in Sherwood Park now. So years and years ago. Oh, okay. All right, good. So I'm assuming that you found out about the webinar through our email that we sent out. Okay, well, great to have you on the call. I know Leanne's also from Edmonton. Yes, you're still getting your emails. That's great. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed them, and it's too bad that you're now in Sherwood Park. Come and say hi to us, okay? Good. All right, one more minute, and then we'll start here right away. I like starting on time. And hey, Joan, how's it going? Good to see you too. Good. Okay. Well, I love this group. Amazing. You know, on December 8th, when I had the first webinar, we had people come on, but they couldn't hear me. And I had no idea what was going on. I tell you, technology is a problem. But today I made sure that this is working. So, hey, Esmina, hi, how are you? Okay, good. Well, I'm glad you could join us. We are streaming the webinar through my webinar platform, which is Webinar Ninja, and also through Facebook. So you can get it on either end here. All right, so what I'm going to do is we'll just get started here. Angela says I'm good to go, so I'm good to go. Okay? Angela, I will talk to you later. Bye. Okay, let's get started. So, welcome to Boost Your Energy Naturally in 30 Days. Tips every busy individual needs to know. And you'll be amazed at the things that you hear today. And some of them, you know, you may say, well, this is common sense, but some of them will be aha moments for you. All right, so, you know, the only complaints that I hear most often are, you know, I have so much, I'm just going through so much fatigue, or I don't have any energy in me. And let me tell you right now that being tired all the time is not normal. When you see someone who's chronically fatigued all the time, that is not normal. And I'm going to share with you some stories of myself as I go along, because I was there at one point as well. But today you can say goodbye to low energy and fatigue, because you're going to learn strategies on how you can take your life back. Are you ready? Say yes in the chat box, or for Facebook people, you can say yes in the comment section, and we'll get ready to go. All right, Leanne, that's great to see. Thank you, Samantha. Okay, so I just want you to imagine, what would your day look like, honestly, if you had all that energy that I'm talking about? Would you be able to have just energy throughout the day without going through the slumps? Would you be able to handle stress better? Would you be more patient with yourself? Would you think more clearly? Would you do the things that you want to do? I know for myself, when I have low energy, I snap at my loved ones. Do you do that? If you do, it's okay to just say yes and say, you know what, I do. Or you find yourself just, getting cranky and being impatient. especially if you work with other people around you or even with kids around you. So just be okay with that and know that that is normal, that it's not something wrong with you, that it is normal to feel this way when you have low energy. But we're going to change that. Now, you are in the right place if you wish you could have more energy throughout the day. You are in the right place if you feel exhausted and drained the moment you sit down and take a break. You are in the right place if you'd like to have more patience with your children, friends, and coworkers. You are in the right place if you wake up in a fog and desperately need a cup of coffee before you can fully function. I know a lot of people who would say yes to that. You are in the right place if your lack of energy gets in the way of exercising and making healthy meals. You know, I just finished a 3-month group coaching course with about 24 women. Well, maybe 22 women and 2 men, but most of them said that they found so much energy to start to exercise again and to make healthy meals. And I'm going to show you how you can get more of that info at the end here. And you're in the right place if you find yourself reaching for sugar around 3 p.m. to get you through the day. That is so common, isn't it? And you're in the right place if your social plans or activities that you used to enjoy have started to feel like a chore. So which one of those, and I know it's hard to remember all of that, but which one of those kind of made you go, you know what, that's me. So write in the chat box, or if you're on Facebook, write in the comment section, which one of those really hit you that, you know what, that happens to me all the time. So whether it's to do with your activities that you can't do, whether it is to do with that sugar crash around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, whether it's the lack of energy that gets in the way, whether it is how you need that cup of coffee, whatever it is, write in the chat box what really resonated with you. And then I'm going to explain to you why you should listen to me. So you go ahead and type that while I drink some water. So Leanne says that the 3 p.m. thing happens. Okay. So do you start yawning, Leanne, or do you start to crave something? For those of you watching us on Facebook, feel free to write comments. So Leanne says, more craving, something, but I try not to give in. Okay. All right. So why should you listen to me? Well, for those of you who know my story, this is something you've heard before, but for those of you who haven't, I wrote a book, Attract Your Ideal Weight, 8 Secrets of People Who Lose Weight and Keep It Off. This was released in 2013 as an ebook first. And what had happened then was it actually won an award as an ebook. And pretty soon when I went on a virtual book tour, my story was featured on the front cover of a magazine in the UK, which you can actually see right here. And now you must be thinking, wow, you know, she has a lot going on. And then on top of that, in 2015, I wrote another book. Now, this was actually my dream book that I've always wanted to write, and it happened in 2015. And it's called The Resilience Reflex, 8 Keys to Transforming Your Barriers into Success in Life and Business. This one also won an award, and it became an Amazon International best-selling book on Kindle. So, you know, when you listen to all this, you think, wow, you know, this is great. However, just like anyone out there, my life wasn't always in the up, okay? We all go through ups and downs. And what had happened was that last year, I was diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer. That's right. So in the picture, you see my hair longer. Well, now my hair is actually growing back because after chemo, it all fell off. And it was At that moment, I thought, what happened? And I felt like a fraud. And the reason I felt like a fraud was here I was teaching people how to be healthy, and here I ended up with cancer. And so the mindset was, how can someone who is healthy get cancer? But there was no answer to that. There is no answer. You know, cancer can happen at any time. But the good thing was that even before I found out that I had cancer, I would always be approached by so many people asking me, how do you get all this done? How can you write a book, and how can you do a blog, and how can you speak and all that? And I always had good energy. But the problem was that I did work long hours, and I don't want that for you anymore, and I'm not doing that anymore. So let me explain to you what happened. So this is me last year in August when I went for my lumpectomy, and we took out the tumor. And I just want to show you, I've never shown this picture before, but I'm doing this today. So this is me with my tumor out and my lymph nodes out. And thank God the cancer had not spread to my lymph nodes. But I still went for chemotherapy. And this is me December 24th of last year. So just about a year now that I went through chemo, and I'm completely fine. Everything's clear. The funny thing was that even when I went through my chemotherapy and everything else, I would get comments from my clients here at the wellness center, from friends and loved ones, saying, you don't look like someone who's going through chemo. You are smiling and you've got energy. How are you doing this? Well, today I'm going to share with you strategies of exactly the kinds of things that I did before and after that made me continue to do the things that I love to do. During the month of November, I had 2 chemo treatments, but at the same time, I had 4 speaking engagements, and I could do it. So there you have it. So are you interested in learning how this can be done, how you can have high or good energy? Not high energy, but good energy. Do you want to learn that? Say yes in the chat box if you're ready to learn. So I'm just going to read someone's. So Samantha, you're saying you need coffee for energy. Yes. Having no energy to be active and crashing at 3 for sure. Yes, that is so common. Okay. So Leanne says yes. Samantha says yes. Okay, good. Well, let's get going. One thing that I want to hit upon is the too much syndrome. So before cancer, I thought, I am superwoman. And unfortunately, I find that so many women have this mindset that they can do it all. And I was there too. I'm not gonna lie, right? I could have a job, I could have a business, I could go speaking, I could do a blog and this and that and be a mom and be a friend and be a wife and all those kinds of things, right? Well, I can do it, who says I can't? Well, too much syndrome, honestly, I'm here to tell you today, is not good. Do not think that you can be a superwoman and do it all. Even as Azmina says yes, that she wants to learn more. So this is good, Azmina. Thank you for hanging in there. So too much syndrome is learning how to use your muscle of your mouth and learning how to say no. So say it with me. No. Even though I can't hear you, I know you're saying it. You know what? Learn how to say no. That is the one thing, if anything, will get you through those days that you feel that you are doing too much. Before, I would see clients in the evening and I would work 14, 16-hour days and I would see clients until 7:30 and I would get home by 8 o'clock. And I'd be exhausted and just crash into bed and then up again in the morning. And yeah, I didn't have energy because all my energy was drained doing things for others. I never exercised. I did eat healthy, and I think that was my saving grace, was that I ate healthy. And that's why my energy was up. But by the time 7:38 came, I was gone. I was done for the day. But now I don't see any clients in the evenings. I will do the odd webinar that I'm doing now, but I will not see clients. So I'm usually at home by 5:30, 6 o'clock. I have my supper. I enjoy time with my family. Before I used to go on the computer and check emails and stuff. I don't even do that anymore. No way. I'm not doing it now. So I've learned how to use the muscle of my mouth and say the words no. So say it again. No. All right. However, when I tell clients, when I coach them and I say, learn to say no, they resist. And they resist what I'm saying is because they think they cannot cut out anything. They think that they still have to do it all. They're overwhelmed, and that overwhelm is actually making them burn out. So what I like to tell them is, I want you to think about your life and the tasks that you do like your closet. When you look at your closet and you look at all the clothes in there, and you go, I don't think there's anything I can remove. I like all the clothes that I have in the closet. But when I ask them to really look at each and every clothing or each and every garment that they have hanging and ask themselves, when was the last time you wore this? Has it been more than 6 months to a year? Well, are you going to wear it again? Well, if you're not, then it's time to take that out. Similarly, looking at your day or your week in detail and looking at the tasks that no longer serve you or the things that no longer serve you, learn how to take them out of your life, because in the end, it's just sucking your energy and we don't want that anymore. So does that make sense? Do you think that example helped you? Do you find that you tend to have the too much syndrome? Tell me in the chat box what you thought about that. And while you're doing that, take another sip. So I'm just going to say, okay. So while you're doing that, I'm just going to cover what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover the foods that are secretly draining your energy. We're going to cover one simple strategy you can implement immediately to avoid the 3 p.m. crash and binging on sugar. You'll learn the fastest way to increase your energy for good without the use of supplements or caffeine. And you will learn the 5 powerhouse energy boosting foods you can easily integrate into your diet today. Now, just so you know that, before when I said that I have clients and the wellness center, my husband and I own a wellness center, and most of you on the call may know this. So all this information is come through because we have I have educated myself. I'm a certified health coach. I have a bachelor's of science in food science and nutrition. But I speak on the area of resilience. And honestly, that is so huge because it can cover anything from health to mindset, right? And that's what I teach. All right. So Leanne says, oops, I don't have that issue as much as I used to, but I know exactly what you mean. Okay. That's good to hear. That's great. Okay. I don't see any other comments. I'm just going to continue on. Okay. So what I want you to do is, in this past week, I want you to think and reflect back, was there a day that you felt really tired or that your energy was really low? So go ahead and think about that day. Today is Tuesday, so whether it was yesterday, Monday, or if it was Friday or Thursday of last week, whichever day it was, think about that. And now I'm going to ask you some questions. And you can take time in answering in the chat box. And here goes. As you think of that day, was it an easy day? Did it feel like a long day? Did you get everything done that you wanted to? How was your stress level? Did you feel overwhelmed? Was this the day that you exercised? What did you eat? Did you have any cravings? How were your interactions with your children, your loved ones, or your coworkers? So if anyone wants to go ahead and just type in the chat box what they felt like, go ahead, as I tell you what I feel like. So when I have a low energy day, and this usually happens if I don't sleep on time or I have skipped meals, then I'm craving, because by the time evening comes, even though I've had my dinner, I'm still not satisfied. I still want to eat something more. And so I tend to go for chocolates in the pantry. All right? And because I've gone throughout the day probably skipping meals, I don't have the energy to work out. So I've realized that, and I know that that doesn't work for me. So that has changed. Now I want you to think about a day that you had a good amount of energy. So it can be the weekend as well. So whether it was Saturday or Sunday, whether it was last week, whether it's today or yesterday, think about the day that you had a lot of energy. And again, I'm going to put some questions out there and I want you to reflect. Did you find that you could do a lot more during that day? Did you find that you had more patience when dealing with your family and your coworkers? Did you find that maybe you got to go outside and exercise or go for a walk or go to the gym or go for a swim, whatever it was? Did you find that maybe it's a lot easier to make food choices? All right? So who wants to say yes, that they found that they could do something, or who knows themselves good enough that they can say, yeah, you know what? When I have high energy, I can do this. I can work out, or I make great food choices, but when I have low energy, I don't. So go ahead and type in the chat box anything that you would like to share there. All right, so how are we doing so far? We're doing good? So the first thing that I have found that sucks your energy is something called refined carbs. So refined carbs, I hope you can see here. I'm just going to put my screen up here because it's moving a lot on me. Okay, so I have a comment here. So Samantha says, with high energy, I can prepare lunches ahead of time, but not when I have low energy. Yes. Leanne says, on good days, it's always easier to eat well and work out. Tired days are always hungry days. Yes. I can see that. As Mina says on Facebook, when I have energy, I make good food choices. Yes, Asmina. That's so common that I hear that when I have good energy, I make good choices. So one of the things that is a problem is refined carbs. And examples of refined carbs are white pasta, bread, crackers, cereals, white rice, baked goods, candy, sugary drinks. And we all know that. However, what a lot of people don't know is that refined means that the food is stripped out of its fiber and nutrients. So, for example, let's take white rice and brown rice. Brown rice has three things to it. So it has the bran, it has germ, and it has an endosperm. However, in white rice, they have stripped out the bran and the germ, and it's only left with the endosperm. So what that means is that when you're having white rice, you're missing the nutrients that it was actually grown with. The way it was grown in nature. That's not the way that we're having it when we have white rice. Therefore, whenever we eat refined food, we do not have any nutrients going into the body. So what happens is the body will use stored nutrients that it already has to balance the processes that are going on in the body, like digestion, like blood flow, like respiration, all those kinds of things. It will use any stored energy that you have. So when it uses up the nutrients that are stored, it automatically sucks your energy, and that's why we go through that fatigue, because we're having a lot of refined foods. Another reason that we have low energy when we have refined carbs is the spike and crash energy cycle. So for example, we all know that when we have white bread, white rice, sugary foods or drinks, it's broken down really quickly in the body. When that happens, we get this sugar spike. We just get this boost. All right? When that boost happens, insulin, which is a hormone in your body, is released. And the reason it comes out from the pancreas into the blood is because its job is to take that sugar and take it to the muscle cells, which is good because the muscles need all those carbs and sugars to be active so you can run and you can exercise and so on. However, when insulin takes the sugar out of the blood, we go through a crash. And that's why we get that spike and crash throughout the day. Unfortunately, when this happens as well, we get cravings because when we are eating refined foods or what they call carbo loading, now I'm not saying carbs are bad, please do not think that I'm saying that. All I'm saying is when we have a lot of refined foods, which is from the carbs that we call carbo loading, insulin will tend to be secreted more than usual. So it stays in the blood. If it stays in the blood, it will keep on looking for sugar. And it will send a message to the brain saying, hey Zaheen, you know what? I'm still in your blood. Can you go have more sugar because I need to get out of here? Alright? So that's how cravings work. And so you have that 3 p.m. binge or that craving all of a sudden because you've got low energy. So when I tell people this is that we need to try and wean out of refined carbs or even sugars all the time, they'll say, well, I can't help myself. I have no willpower. And I get strong cravings and I smile and I go, okay, you know what? I have a system that is going to show you how you can get those cravings out of the way. So I'm going to share with you Lori's story. You know, I have known her for a while, and she is always good when it comes to eating healthy, but there will be times that she'll go through phases where she'll go, oh, I'm eating too much this and, sugar, and I've got cravings. Well, she joined my 3-month coaching program here in the fall, and she has cut out sugar. She now uses honey, which is fine as well. I didn't ask her to. That was her own decision. She learned how to eat more healthier, as well as she started doing yoga every day, and she's loving it. And she says she's got more energy now than ever before. Now I know Joan, who is also on the call today, was with me as well in the 3 months, and she can tell you as well how she felt and what kinds of things she learned. So Joan, if you can hear me and you would like to share, please go ahead and share what you learned. And as you're doing that, I'll just continue on. So here's a simple way to avoid the 3 p.m. crash and binging on sugar. And you'll find this, as I start telling you this, you will think, okay, really? Like you couldn't say anything better? But let me ask you this. Why do you think we have to make things complicated? Life isn't about being complicated. Life is about making simple choices that work and have been working in nature and in history for the longest time. But no, we have to make life complicated. So I'm not here to make things complicated for you. I'm here to make things simple. So Joan is saying that she liked how she could make choices and use Sundays for making her meals, and it makes life so much better. And how she learned how to make herself a priority. Thank you, Joan. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so simple ways to avoid the 3 p.m. crash is water. Okay? Yes, that's true. Now, how many of you don't even drink enough water? I know there is some of us on the call here, or if you're watching the recording, I know there are people out there who do not drink enough water. Hey, I'm also putting my hand up here and saying I don't always drink as much water as I'm supposed to. Okay, especially on the days when I'm seeing client after client. So just because, but I've got my water here and I've learned how to make things better, but it's always a learning process, right? But let me go through and tell you some stats and how we can introduce more water. 75% of North Americans, which is including Canada, are chronically dehydrated. And something that you may not know is that lack of water is actually the number one trigger of daytime fatigue. I find in America and in Canada, so many people are used to just having coffee in the morning. I know of people who will drink 3 or 4 cups of coffee in the morning, and by the afternoon, they do not have energy and their eyes are red and bloodshot. And they're like, oh, I'm so tired. I don't know why. And they can't even sleep because they're having so much caffeine throughout the day. Did you also know that because you're not drinking enough water, you get dehydrated? So when you get dehydrated, or even when you drink caffeine dehydrates your body. Do you find that you go to the washroom all the time and urinate often when you're having coffee? And that's because your body is drawing out all the water. So when you're dehydrated, the blood volume in your body is reduced. And when your blood volume is reduced, it results in lower energy. I know I like talking with my hands, so that's okay. And also, dehydration increases sugar cravings. That's right, it does. So when you don't have water, you're drinking too much coffee, guess what? You're dehydrated, and then what happens? You crave sugar. Alright? So it's all a cycle, isn't it? Did you also know that your organs are able to perform better when you drink water? So, whether it's your kidneys, whether it's your liver is only 3 to 5 pounds. So it's very small. But it's known as the janitor for your body. And what does the janitor do? Takes out the dirt, right? Same thing with your liver. It detoxifies your body. But when you're not having enough water, it cannot do its job. So you need to drink enough water. Also, when you drink enough water, it speeds up your metabolism. When it does that, guess what? You're burning more calories. So why wouldn't you drink water? So a lot of people ask me, well, how do I get more water into my day? Even when we get clients coming into the wellness center, that's one of the things that we ask them. So how much water do you drink? And they go, not much, not as much as I'm supposed to, because I just don't know how to get more water into my day. Well, let me tell you how you can do that. As soon as you wake up, you have at least an hour before you head out, at least. Have 2 cups of water in that hour. So when you wake up, when you're having a breakfast, or when you're heading out the door, have at least 2 cups. When you're having a meal, have another cup. So if you're having 2 cups, and then you have 3 meals, that's 3 more cups, that's 5 already that you've gotten in. Then at 3 o'clock, instead of having coffee, have water. So that's 6 cups right there. Even at 10 o'clock, instead of having coffee, have water. That's 7 cups right there. When you're working out, you need to have water. You can also have a bottle in your car. I have one in my car all the time. Have one at your desk. I have one at my desk all the time. And whenever you go into meetings, take water. Yesterday I had to take a training course, and I was amazed that I think we were about 20 or so, and only 3 or 4 of us had bottles of water next to us. The rest all had coffee cups. Yeah, all had coffee cups. I was surprised. And you can tell that the people who have water next to them are the ones that make themselves a priority, because health comes first. How are we doing so far? Is that interesting to you? I'm going to show you as well how much you need to drink according to your body weight. So how do you make it taste better? Well, you can put some lemon slices, lime slices, you can put cucumber in it, you can put strawberries in it, so you can infuse it naturally. You can put fruity tea bags in it and some mint. Yum, that would taste really good. You can actually have herbal teas as water. Just make sure that your tea is decaffeinated. You can make your own lemonade by adding real lemons in water and then adding stevia to it. So you get that little sweet, tangy taste. And for those of you who like that fizzy texture, then have mineral water. Hey Norm, thanks for joining. So good to see you on Facebook there. Thank you so much. So fizzy water, my husband was like that. He would drink 3 to 4 cans of pop. Now this was a while back. And when he started eating healthy and exercise, he always used to exercise, but he loves food, but he loves his soda as well. He thought, what can I do so that I can drink less soda? And what he did was he would go out and get mineral water and drink that. And he liked the fizzy taste. So if you like soda and you want to start to wean off of it, then start with mineral water. So now you may be asking, well, Zaheen, how much water do I need to drink? Is it 6 cups? Is it 8 cups? Is it 10 cups? What is it? Well, here's a formula. What you want to do is take your weight, divide by 2, and that is your daily water intake. For example, 150 pounds. If someone weighs that much, divide that by 2, that comes to 75 ounces. 1 cup is 8 ounces. So divide by 8 gives you 9 cups. So someone who's 150 pounds should be having 9 cups of water. Now, this is dependent on activity, climate, and so on. So of course, if someone is working out, they need to drink more. Alright? So now you need to take your weight, divide by 2, then divide by 8, and figure out the cups that you need. So I won't ask you how much you need to drink, but I do want to ask you, are you drinking as much as you're supposed to? Say yes or no in the chat box. So go ahead and do that while I drink some more water. So Leanne says, yes, I drink a lot of water. Samantha says no. Okay. I think the Facebook people are putting that in. So as they do that, we'll just continue on. So in the next part, and Joan says some days I drink a lot and some days, okay, good to know, Joan. Thanks for sharing. I like to drink a lot of hot water with turmeric and ginger or honey or even lemon in it. And the reason is, I think when I was younger, my mom used to always give me turmeric in milk, and we would have that every night. And then when I came here, I decided to try that in, another thing too is when we would suffer from colds and coughs, she would put that in water, with some honey and some ginger and some lemon, and we would drink that up, and that would help our cold. So that is something that I always do now as well. So in the afternoon, when I'm feeling a little, tired at 3 p.m., not all days, but, some of my days are like that, I will tend to boil some water, put some turmeric and all that stuff, and I feel so much better after. So try that, will ya? And see how that goes. Azmina says yes, she drinks water, enough water. Okay, good. So I promised you I would also give you another strategy of how to increase your energy for good. And this is, believe it or not, your sleep cycles. That's right. So did you know that we have 90-minute sleep cycles? And there are two kinds. We have rapid eye movement, also known as REM, and we have non-rapid eye movement, which is the time that we go through deep sleep. However, a lot of people don't know this, that deep sleep that's non-REM usually occurs earlier in the night. So usually between 9 and 11 o'clock at night. That's right. And REM sleep usually occurs more towards sunrise. So if you're sleeping after 11 o'clock at night and usually towards midnight, I will tell you right now, you're not getting enough sleep, deep sleep. Therefore, you don't feel rejuvenated the next day. Therefore, you have low energy. So now you may be asking, okay, Zaheen, you know what? I can't sleep before 11. I've tried and it doesn't work. Well, I've been there too. If I would sleep at 11:30, I found myself not able to wake up in the morning, first of all. Number two, I'd feel groggy throughout the day where I just do not have the energy. Then I tried sleeping earlier, but I would wake up early. So I would wake up at 5. And the reason I do that is because I thought to myself, no, you know what? I can get my work done. I can exercise. I can start my day early and get things going. And then I found that when I wake up early, I'm in bed early. So now my bedtime, believe it or not, is 9:30. And when I sleep at 9:30, I feel so much better the next day. I have so much energy. It's amazing. So how many of you feel that lack of sleep is something that you struggle with? Because what I'm going to share with you towards the end is a bonus of how you can get to sleep better. So if you'd like to share, you can. So Leanne, yeah, definitely. Okay, good. So you find that helps. That does make sense, right? That whether you sleep late, it does affect your day the next day. Okay, good. So now we're almost towards the end here, and we're going to go through the 5 powerhouse energy boosting foods. The first one, of course, is your green and orange fruits and veggies. And you're wondering why? Because they have nutrients like magnesium, potassium, or vitamin C. Magnesium, by the way, whenever you have that, it helps you relax. And it also helps to relax your muscles. So the first thing that I tell clients who say that they suffer from tense muscle, or they suffer from going to the washroom, they're constipated, the first thing that I say is have magnesium, and I actually give them supplements, and they find that it really helps. And then I also tell them, make sure you start changing your diet. Now, I will be honest with you, I don't know why, but changing diet is such a contentious issue, and people have a hard time eating veggies. I think fruits are easier to eat, but you have to realize fruits will turn into sugar in the end. But when you eat healthy veggies, they are filled with vitamins and nutrients and minerals that boost your energy up, because it works with your hormones, it works with the chemicals in your body, it actually works with your happy hormones. So it's important to be able to eat your veggies. And usually the answer I get back is, well, I don't know how to eat them, or I don't know how to cook them, or there's so much I can eat, or I don't know how to make them tasty, and so on. Well, I'm going to show you at the end how you can do that. So Azmina says exactly the same, that the sleep does make a difference. Thank you, Azmina, for sharing. The next food group is nuts and seeds. One of the things that I hear often is that you should not eat fats. Well, that's wrong. You should eat healthy fats. And healthy fats like nuts and seeds have got iron, magnesium, potassium. Iron is very good for you because it boosts your energy. So I'm just going to stop here and read Joan's comment. She says, you're very good at sharing recipes and leading by example. The best way to make veggies. Thanks, Joan. That's right. I tell you, I learned how to make veggies, and yes, I love them because they give me energy and they make me feel really good. But thank you. And yes, I'm glad you like my recipes. So I just wanted to share a story with you. When I was going through chemo, I went for 4 chemo treatments. My last 2 treatments completely reduced my iron, like drastically. It was so bad that I couldn't even walk up a stairs of 5 stairs. Like in my home, we have 5 stairs that go up, and I couldn't do that. I could climb one and then stop, and then I'll be out of breath, and then climb the other one and then stop. My legs would cramp up, and that just really slowed me down. And when I went to the doctor after and, said, my mind is so active, but my body is not keeping up with me because I can't do the things that I want to do. It just slows me down. And he goes, well, it's the iron. So he put me on iron pills, but at the same time, what I did was I made sure that I had healthy nuts and fruits, that I would have a smoothie in the morning with kale and spinach and yogurt and peanut butter in it. Things like that would give me enough that would keep me going. Well, let me tell you, this happened towards the end of December of last year and in January of this year. And I had to go to Toronto and speak at a conference. And I was so scared that I would not be able to walk in the conference. And so I was fine. I could go up and down the stairs, and I had to walk like so many miles just to get to the conference from the hotel, and I was fine. So I think, honestly, making sure that you eat healthy, that you sleep well, that you eat the right foods makes a big difference. Beans and whole grains. They are good because they're filled with fiber, they're filled with minerals, nutrients, like the bran and the germ and all that good stuff, and it's good for you. And again, when you eat beans and whole grains, yes, they are carbs, but they're healthy carbs. They're complex carbs, and it breaks down throughout the day. It doesn't give that boost and then that crash right away. So what happens is if it breaks down slowly throughout the day, you have stable energy throughout the day, and that will keep you going. The next one is animal protein. Now, I know not everyone eats animal protein, and that's fine. The beans and grains and lentils, as well as things like quinoa, is a grain, by the way, can give you enough protein. So can nuts and seeds. So you're okay there. But animal protein is also good because, again, it has nutrients in there and amino acids in there that your body cannot make naturally. So it comes from those sources. And you need that to boost your energy and keep going. You will hear sometimes, people say, oh, I'm so hungry, or I don't have energy, and they'll have a tablespoon of peanut butter. And it keeps them going. Why? Because it's a fat and it keeps them full. But I'm not saying you need to do that every day. All I'm saying is that there are ways that you can introduce healthy fats through animal protein or through nuts and seeds to keep you going. So I've covered the 5 energy boosting foods, and those are green and orange fruits and veggies, nuts and seeds, beans, whole grains, and animal protein. Hey Rashma, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. So, any questions about that? Did that make sense? I know it was very simple, common sense, but I just wanted to make sure that you understand that this is the way that this is the way you need to improve your energy. I promised you a bonus. So, there is a supplement, and it was also featured on Dr. Oz. It was featured on Oprah. It has been out there for a long time, and it's called Rhodiola rosea. So I'm going to type this in the chat box. Rhodiola rosea. We have the brand name called Rosiva, which is Canadian made. And what I like about this herb and this supplement, what I like about this herb and the supplement is that it naturally boosts your energy by bringing your stress hormones down. So if we're always looking for energy, our stress hormones are always at a peak. That's not good. That's what happened to me, where I was always working, and I wasn't doing enough for me. I wasn't exercising. Did you know exercising is a way to get rid of the toxins in your body? Did you know that the only way you get oxygen going through your body is through your blood? But what pumps your blood? Your heart. That's the pump for your body to get oxygen going through everywhere. But what about toxins? How are they removed? They're actually removed through your lymphatic system. And the lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. So the pump is actually exercise. So when you exercise, it gets the lymphatic system going, which takes out the toxins from your body. So when you're always stressed and your stress hormones are always there in your blood, you need something to take it out, and exercise really helps. That's why they say, listen, when you're stressed, exercise. It will help, and people feel so good after. Well, if you find that even after you exercise it's not helping, then you need the supplement here, which honestly works really good. And you can't have it all the time. You can only have it for a certain period of time and then stop. Because you need to understand that your body has to make its own hormones. So it brings down the stress hormones and increases your happy hormones. So as Asmina says, it's a good refresher. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad. Thank you. And if you're finding that even when you try to sleep at 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night, and you're finding it hard to sleep, take a diffuser. If you don't have one, go and get one. We have them at the Wellness Center. And get some essential oils, especially lavender. Put some drops of lavender and put this in your bedroom because it will help you relax. Lavender helps you relax. So make sure you do that. So how was that? Did that help? So let's see. Do you have any questions so far from what I'm giving you here? Asmina says it's a good refresher. Well, thank you, Asmina, and I hope everyone else watching on Facebook or even in the platform here is enjoying what I'm showing you. So let's just recap everything that I've given you. I've given you a lot of information, and I want to make sure that you get everything down packed. Now let me tell you, if you use even one strategy from here today, you'll see a big shift. Thank you, Asmina. Yes, lavender is my favorite too. So we discussed about the too much syndrome and letting go of the shoulds, right? So learn how to use your mouth by saying no. You learned which foods are secretly draining your energy, and those are refined carbs. You learned how increasing your water intake will boost your energy and will speed up calorie burning. You learned that tweaking your sleep schedule is the fastest way to increase your energy. And you learned how to incorporate the 5 powerhouse energy boosting foods. Yes? All good? Okay, good. Well, what I want to do is, for those of you who have come onto the webinar, as well as for those of you watching the recording, I have an invitation for you. And it's this. I'm starting a 30-day fit and healthy jump start program. Only 30 days. So it's not something that you have to commit to for 3 months or 6 months or a year. It's only 30 days and it will get you started. And what are you going to learn? Well, first of all, you are going to get delicious, healthy recipes. You are going to get a grocery shopping guide, so it will make things easier for you. You don't have to think about what to go and look for. It's all there. And you'll get smoothie recipes as well. I love smoothies because, again, it's filled with minerals and it keeps me going throughout the day, and I find that my energy is up. You know, when I went to Kenya last year and I did a speaking tour there, I taught the audience how to make a kale smoothie, and by God, I still get emails and Facebook comments from the people there saying, I'm still drinking your smoothie, it's so good. Well, it always makes me happy to hear that. So yes, you'll get smoothie recipes as well. So what's involved? You'll also get an exercise video. I teach a walk fit class here at the Wellness Center, and I decided to make a video out of it. It's only 30 minutes, and it's walking indoors, but using 4 simple steps. So you'll get that as well. You'll get 1 strategy each week. So in the first week, we will talk about meal planning, which is huge. In the second week, we will talk about exercise. In the third week, we will talk about calorie intake. And in the fourth week, we will talk about how to put all that together, and one more thing. So at the bottom, you will find a link to the program, and you can register because it is only going to be for $47 until December 20th. So that's next Wednesday. You will have access to a special Facebook group for members who join the 30-day Jump Fit. And each week you will win prizes. So things like my book, or the other book that you saw here, or a CD that I have made. You will win a prize each week. The more interactive you are and the more you share. So for example, if you made a meal that is healthy, that you never made before, or you tried something new and you take a picture and post it, well, guess what? You get a point. If you share that you've started exercising or you're walking and you take a picture and share, guess what? You get another point. And Joan is here, so she will tell you that how important being active on the Facebook group is, because you will get more out of it, not just from me, but from everyone else in the group, because everyone supports you. We're all in the same boat. So like I said, this special ends on December 20th, and it's $47. After that, the price will go up to $297. So you're getting a lot, and that's almost more than 80% off. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. You will get an email in your inbox here later on giving you the link as well to the program. Or you can just go right below, click on the button that you see, and it will take you to the page. Do you have any questions? So I'm just going to close this slide here, and you can see me now. Okay, I'm just going to wait. So how did you find this? Did you enjoy it? Was it like as Mina says, it was a good refresher? Did you get any aha moments? And for those of you watching the recording, you will get the link as well. Okay. So Samantha says, very helpful, thanks. You're welcome, Samantha. I'm glad you could join. Asmina says, I really did enjoy. Okay, good. Good reminder that things aren't difficult, just daily choices. Yes, so Leanne says, yeah, it was good. I think it's more of a reminder of what we should be doing. You know, it's great that you're all saying it's a good refresher and a good reminder. What I find though is the part about doing it. Do we tend to do it? And I find that when you're accountable to someone or even to yourself, when you make that decision and have that help along the way, it turns it's a good reminder to saying, I made the choice. I took the action. And this is where being in a group and having that jump start really helps. When I want to improve my business or get to another level in my business, I can't do it alone. I get the help of a coach and I hire a coach to help me get there. Otherwise, I will always be here. So I hope that this is where you'll decide that yes, you're going to try it out and just for 30 days and let me know how that goes and let me guide you and help you. I want to try yours. So Azmina says she wants to try my smoothie. Azmina, I will send you a recipe. How's that? Okay, so if there's no more questions, what I'm going to do is, hey Elena, how's it going? Oh, good. My big aha was to learn I need to drink more water. I know, isn't that so simple that we find that we're not drinking enough? So now what you need to do, Elena, is figure out how much you need per day. You're welcome, Joan. Thank you. Yes, I like to share my stories because I've been there, so I know what it's like. By the way, Joan, because you've been on the program before, if you'd like to join the 30-day jumpstart, it's only $19 for you. Sorry, rest of the people who are on here, you'll be like, aw, but Joan has been with me since September, and she's already a client of mine, so she gets a special deal. Okay? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it a day. And if you have any other questions, you can email me. You have my email, and I'll gladly answer your question. Thank you, Elena. I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. I always enjoy sharing. Thank you, Leanne. Take care. Bye. And bye on Facebook.